From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big evening of evenings, LALATE, direct from Santa Monica, California. And guess what? Your fourth stimulus check updated 2021 is getting more delicious by the minute. I'm back, and guess what I got with me? More senators saying they're going to give you a stimulus check. Senator Casey, Senator Warren telling viewers of this channel, yes, they're putting a fourth stimulus check in the fourth stimulus package. In this recording, we'll go over the breaking news and world exclusive you're only here on this channel, as no less than 3 Senate Democrats tell viewers of this channel, their staffers, that they're putting a fourth stimulus check in the fourth stimulus package. Then we'll be cutting the first 645 pages of that reconciliation budget bill. And there's tons of checks in there. Hazard pay, $4,000 to care for seniors, money for college, money for vehicles, money for a bike. No money for surfboards, unfortunately. There's no electric surfboards in there. But guess what? There's lots of other money, like home repairs. In the second cluster, we'll go over those items. More money to repair your home. In fact, weatherization. Then money for seniors, money for also SSI and SSDI in the third cluster, money for prescription, and including money for lots of other things like free internet. Then out of nowhere, an additional $13 billion sent out to your cities and states so that they can have big money for you as well. For third stimulus, you thought third stimulus was running out of money. It's not. And yes, Warren, Casey, and Sanders all confirm they're giving you a stimulus check. All the incredible world exclusives coming up as I'm back on a big Evenings in LA. You have never seen a video like this until tonight. This is why we do it, and this is Evenings in LA. I hope you're good and safe where you are. I'm with you, and I'm glad to be back on a big Evenings LA broadcast with so much breaking news. We're going to go right into the details, which started with Danny calling up Bernie Sanders' office. They say they're doing a fourth stimulus check. That was 2 days ago. Yesterday, Hurricane Tina. They say they're doing a fourth stimulus check at Bernie's office. Then yesterday as well. Carolina say they're giving a fourth stimulus check. Then later that day, Laura, Bernie's office, saying there's a stimulus check. But today, get ready for this one. Warren saying she wants to do a stimulus check. And guess what? She's thinking of $1,400 to $2,000 for up to 12 months. And then Senator Casey, in fact, Senator Casey's office confirming they're negotiating the issue of stimulus checks right now. This is the IRS stimulus check. More about that later in this video. But then we cut to the cluster of the first items. This is nearly 645 pages of stimulus checks now released in the bill. I'm going to go over this incredible reconciliation bill released from Congress, and it's the first 645 pages of what would be an upward of 8,000-page bill. Lots of checks across the board, including hazard pay, and also $51,000 of MSCs. Boy, Purple Hawks are going to clean up on this one. Then we go over the second cluster that the president wants, and the third cluster that the president wants. And out of nowhere, an additional $13 billion available for states and cities for a third stimulus. It's a big night, and it's an exciting night. I'm glad to be back, and this is Evenings in LA. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. There is no place like this one. I am so glad you are part of this incredible family of love. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes. Every like helps. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Coming up tonight is a whole slot of programming. We got shows at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11:30. A show every hour on the hour. Join me throughout the night. I'm going to be in the live chat as well. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, and consider becoming a member. Let's get right into the details of the world exclusive you're hearing on this channel right now. More senators are coming forward and confirming they want to give you a stimulus check. Senator Casey's office, Senator Warren's office, and Senator Coons' office. How many is that? I think we're up to almost 4 senators' offices. And one viewer confirms that all the senators are negotiating the issue right now. Coming back to that in a second. But first, let's get to the first 645 pages of the reconciliation budget bill. It's out. It's the first 645 pages of what is upwards of an 8,000-page bill, and there's checks of all magnitude. Let's go over broadly what they are, and then we'll go over the specifics. Hazard pay, $51,000 for reoccurring monthly stimulus checks. Money for seniors, like $4,000 to take care of them. Then we got money for things like buying a car, buying a bike, not buying a surfboard. Sorry, I tried. They did not want to put the surfboard in there, but everything else is all incredible details. Well, are you ready? Let's start with the first one. And the first one is that hazard pay. Hazard pay is back on, baby, and lifetime. This is for essential workers, and everything in the forced stimulus is not COVID related. So these are life changes to the tax code or the tax benefits, because guess what? You don't have to have anything COVID related. Hazard pay is back on a lifetime. What did they do? They took the third stimulus and made it a new lifetime provision to the code. We had been introduced to hazard pay under second stimulus. They did not get it done, but they put into third stimulus by modifying a very old tax code called the Earned Income Tax Credit, by broadening the eligibility on both the age and the income and making more people qualify for it. And what do they also do? They raise the amount of money. Now what they're doing is they're making this a lifetime. So if you work as an essential worker and you are eligible year after year, you will get this Earned Income Tax Credit. Incredible. Number two, $4,000 a year to care for the elderly. It's huge, especially if you're at home and you're a care provider for an elderly person potentially in the home. This is absolutely out of nowhere, not on my radar, and it got in there from Representative Richard Neal, the head of the Ways and Means Committee. $4,000, up to $4,000 a year if you care for an elderly person at home. Also on the flip side, up to $4,000 a year if you care for a child at home. Eligibility issues still remain. Then, how about $51,000 of MSCs? Yes. If you are in a low-income household and you have a child, guess what? You could be paid upwards of $300 a month every year for every year over the next 18 years of that child. It's huge. It's third stimulus, extended lifetime. How does this work? If you are a household and you're a low-income household and you have a child and the child was just newly born, for every year the child and your family stay as a low-income household, you'll get upwards of $300 a month. Over 18 years, that's $51,000 approximately per child. Huge. How about other sums of money? Money for students. Yes, there are going to be new grants for college students. There's going to be the Pell's grant made tax-free, and then they're going to give grants directly to the universities and also to you as well. In fact, in the second cluster of checks, which I'm going to get to in a second, there's more money for those students. Then let's cut back to the housing. Whoa. If you have a house and you're in a low-income community, that house repair or home repair will now get rebates as well. They're going to give money in this first 645 pages to do home repairs in low-income communities. Incredible. That's not the only home repair. Coming up in the second cluster, you can see another one as well. Then, how about a bike? How about a car? How about a truck? They're going to give you money for this as well. 15% for a new electric bike, the federal government will pick up the tab. Personal use, business use, doesn't matter what it's being used for. Then what about a car for personal use? The federal government will pay up to $7,500 for a new electric vehicle you buy from the number 3 auto manufacturers. Then for a car that you buy for business use, they'll pick up a little bit even more. Also a truck, also if they're electric. And finally, what about the non-U.S. auto manufacturers that are electric vehicles? They're negotiating those rates as well. Wow. Lots of money. And how do they get this done? This is the first 645 pages of what is an 8,000-page bill, approximately. How do they do this? Negotiating behind closed doors. They're not on TV. They're not on C-SPAN. They are not on TikTok. You don't want to see the senators dancing. No, you don't want. They are behind closed doors. They're on the phone. They're negotiating. And once they say, you know what, I like that, go write it up. And they got enough items to go right up, they go write it up. And these are the first 645 pages of checks that they agreed upon. These they went and wrote up. But these aren't the only checks. This is just the first 645 pages. The next cluster are about 12 more checks, which I'm going to go over in a second, that you qualify for as well. These are checks they're talking about every single day. They just haven't written it up because they're still going over the deal provisions. Third cluster are even more checks on top of that. And these are checks the White House has argued for, and they're going to get them in there as well. Insiders say they're just going over the terms and conditions about that as well. I'm going to get to the second cluster in a second, and I get to the third cluster of checks. But let's cut to the IRS MSCs. Wow. It started no less than 6 weeks ago on this channel when I told you the Democratic caucus members said they want to give you a stimulus check. And I said to advocate for it. And the first senator's staff who came out and said, yes, he's putting a monthly stimulus check in the for stimulus recon, an IRS stimulus check, was Senator Chris Coons' office to viewer WR. That was 6 to 8 weeks ago. It didn't stop there. 3 weeks ago, Bernie Sanders' office told Brother Joshua, more about this later in the video, that there would be an MSC, IRS stimulus check in there as well. That was the second senator's office. Well, guess what happened in the last 24 hours? I had told you that you're doing really well with Senator Sanders' office, but to pick up the phone and contact other senators as well. And I've been showing you that list of other senators to go over. The domino effect is kicking in. Let's go over what's happened. 2 days ago, this is Donnie, picked up the phone and called Bernie Sanders per my urging. And I called Bernie Sanders, and his secretary said they are doing a forced stimulus check. I said, this is what I need. My city needs it. I need it to progress, and I need it for my water and everything. And I told her that, and she said, okay, they're doing a forced stimulus check. Then, yesterday, Hurricane Tina said, I called Bernie's office, and I got through, and they did say they're putting another stimulus check in there. I told viewers to advocate for a stimulus check and to say why you need it. And Carolyn did a great job. Carolyn Smith, I called Bernie Sanders' office and talked to his secretary and told her, we need help out. Here, people are losing their homes, and what they got, we need it. She said she agrees, and Bernie's also putting a stimmy check in there. Then came Lori Silver. I called Bernie Sanders' office yesterday and got a great big purple power vote for people getting help. And according to them, they're working on getting us the help we need. And then today, in a world exclusive, you're seeing that it's not only Sanders and Coons, it's also Warren. In this comment from Will delivered to me today, I spent the day yesterday calling around, and I called Bernie, Warren, and Schumer's office, and all three secretaries confirmed. There you go. My goodness, Purple Power, you're winning. I explained my situation and how a forced stimulus check would make a huge impact. This is Will talking. And I was told, yes, it's happening. Elizabeth Warren's office asked me what kind of check I thought it would be sufficient. I explained I like the American petition, and they said they are on board with that. And they said Senator Warren is considering $1,400 to $2,000 for 6 to 12 months. And then minutes ago, this came in from Lorica, who I've been featuring on this channel throughout the last week. She's been doing wonderful work for all of us. She says the following: I just got off the phone with Senator Casey's office. That's C-A-S-E-Y. Finally, he's on the committee for aging. He is pushing for lots of money for elderly and disabled. And the girl I talked to said, yes, they are in negotiations right now on the amounts of the stimulus checks. This is why you tune into this channel, because you are the breaking news. You are the world exclusive. Casey, Coons, Warren, Sanders, Schumer, 6 offices and 24 hours confirming they are working on those stimulus checks right now. Wow. You're only hearing this reporting on this channel. Now let's cut to cluster number 2. Cluster number 2 is the next set of checks, which are going to get reduced to a bill writing. They haven't put it in the bill format yet because they're still going over the terms and conditions. What are these checks? You ready? I hope you have that pen and paper ready. Always good to take notes on this stuff ahead of time before it becomes law. Number 1, expansion of paid family and medical leave. What is this? Family leave is if you have to stay home because your spouse got pregnant. Medical leave, you have to stay home because your son broke his leg. Again, nothing enforced unless it's COVID related. It's just normal operations as always. How much does it pay? A lot. Under third stimulus, they were going to pay $1,700 a week per individual based upon a $71,000 annual salary. But you reduce it if you make less. Let's go over the calculation. Half of that amount, $40,000 annual salary, then $800 a week. Half of that amount, that would be $35,000. Half of that amount, $15,000 a year annual salary, you'll get $400 a week. lot of money. Then a buildup of child care programs, then expansion of the household care tax credits, then weatherization of your home. This is huge. This is huge, especially if purple hawks are flying above the house. Weatherization of the home. This is if you're in a hurricane area, a tornado area, or a fire area, and you need to weatherize your home. The federal government will pay you checks for this as well. This is on top of the other home repairs I covered in the first 645 pages. Then expansion of Medicare benefits, including dental, vision, hearing checks, and lowering the medical eligibility age. I'll have more about that in the third cluster. And then here come the checks for also education. Free pre-kindergarten for everyone. And then the next one I personally love. There's always a viewer who says, I have no idea what he's saying. What is he saying? He just talks sort of funny. Well, guess what? You can go to community college and take the class called What the World is LATE Saying 101. Yeah, pardon my French. Tuition-free community college. Yes, you can go there and study, learn how to translate those strange words I was saying. Yes, a funny accent he has. Then we got more money for green energy and transportation. Wow, that is just the second cluster. But boy, let's turn over to third stimulus, because third stimulus came out of nowhere with lots of big success stories. What I want to say to you before I go right into third stimulus, which is the big breaking news of that $13 billion landing cities, county, states, is the nonprofits are doing insane payouts to the viewers of this channel. I'm so excited for you. Stay with me through all this video, because I want to show you how the nonprofits, United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, are suddenly picking up big tabs for this viewership of this channel. But boy, the big, incredible, great news this week was that $13 billion. The federal government is sending out another $13 billion to your city, counties, and states to pay for money for rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance. There is categorically 0 states that will be out of money within a few days, because it's all being replenished. This incredible news came with that statement from the Department of Treasury 2 days ago, and the money will be landing all in the next few days. Treasury said, we're happy to provide the state and local governments these additional resources for people in times of need. Wow. And then the success stories that came in overnight are just incredible. Michael Clark says, I want to thank you for your great reporting over the last year. Thank you for your reporting. I'm very grateful for all you've done. I've been able to get heat and electric because of your videos. Every single thing helps. Thank you, Michael Clark, for that nice message. DJ says, I have been so depressed, but right now something happened. Dragon helped me. She helped me out so much. I was able to found the money. I got it. It was closed till mid-October. I'll see you later on the chat. Say thank you to her. Just wonderful. Viewers helping viewers. Then Monica Blanco says, I got $7,000 for rent from City Hall in Delray Beach. Hello, Delray. And Mark. I'll have more about Mark and his incredible neighbor in a second. But let's cut back to that third cluster. The third cluster of checks. There's a third cluster of checks. And these are the checks the president wants in there. Here's a preview of them, and I'll go more over them after the commercial break. These checks are the ones the president specifically wants in there. So trust me, they're getting in there. They're just going over the provisioning of the money for this. Free school meals for all checks, tax-paid checks, cheaper prescription medication checks, checks for free internet, checks for farmers, checks for green energy, then checks for workers like independent contractors, checks for Medicare expansion like checks for dental, checks for vision, checks for hearing, checks for seniors, and then checks for lowering eligibility age. Wow. It just keeps on getting better and better. And after the commercial break, we'll be going over more about how some of these third clusters of checks are literally automatic. You don't have to do anything, even pick up a finger to get this money. Then we'll be cutting back to the third stimulus and the big sums of money that viewers are getting. Mark has an update about his neighbor. I think it's another neighbor. And that neighbor is getting insane amount of money. I want to show you how to get these money. Also, I'll have a big update about the nonprofits that are paying viewers of this channel a lot of items, including brand new furnaces and brand new refrigerators. And then finally, we cut back to that incredible great news about Bernie, Coons, Warren, Schumer, and also Casey, all saying they're going to be giving you a IRS stimulus check. All these incredible world-exclusive, incredible details coming up after the commercial break. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now from Santa Monica, California on a huge Evenings LA. I have never seen a broadcast like this one where there is so much wonderful news happening at the same time. We'll be going over cluster number 3 in this incredible fourth stimulus recon. Checks for seniors, checks for workers, and free internet checks. Boy, it's deliciousness. Then we'll be cutting to why the nonprofits are suddenly paying a fortune. For viewers this channel, I'll go over all the details as Purple makes an appearance on Evenings LA. We'll be cutting to the big money that third stimulus is available for you right now because of that additional $13 billion in your cities, counties, and states. And then we'll be cutting back to that IRS stimmy check and why 4 senators have now flexed their muscles and saying, we're taking care of it. It's a big night. It's a big day. And I'm excited for you to join me because I am so excited to be back with all this incredible great news. And this is Evenings LA. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you for the last 3 days being, actually this whole week, being our biggest week of viewership on this channel in nearly 3 months. Let's continue all this weekend long. Don't miss me because there's a lot happening over this weekend. Like the video too, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Let's cut right into the excitement of third stimulus, which came out of nowhere. Third stimulus's cash infusion was not something we expected to see, but Department of Treasury sent out another pot of money. And that money is incredible. Another $13 billion to round out the $48 billion that are being given to cities, counties, states is going out. If you're in any city, any county that said, I'm out of money, we have no money, guess what? There is money. 100% every single place will have money. Either the money has landed there this week or next week. Let's go over all the incredible details. But first, let me go over the numbers and the inspiration numbers across the board. You met Mark on this channel over the last few weeks. You met Johnny. Johnny's the guy who got $80,000 2 weeks ago. And Mark got $51,000. But Mark continues to help people across the board. Here's Mark. So let's look at the numbers that people are getting. You met Jen 2 days ago. She's the wonderful person who's helping everyone in her community. She in her apartment complex, she got $37,000 for rent, nearly $40,000. We have never seen numbers like that. Well, Mark's brother-in-law got big sums of money across the board as well. When we look at the utilities, how much were people getting 3 months ago? $5,000. Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000 for rent, for utilities in the last 2 days. Mark's neighbor got $12,000 for utilities, he tells me today. In an update from Mark just minutes ago, he tells me his neighbor got $12,000 for utilities. Then Mark's incredible brother-in-law got $21,000 for SNAP. Look how that's grown from $5,000 just a month ago. And then we have a lot of people getting big sums of money. Mark's neighbor, he reveals to me, got $46,000 for rent, then $12,000 for utilities, and then $10,000 for SNAP. That's different than his brother-in-law who got nearly $40,000. All right, it's your day to get that big money. Get that pen paper ready. Let's go over all the details right now. And new stuff tonight. I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to. Each place has different eligibility. If one says no, reach out to the next. You must reach out to all 6. Number 2, listen to the keywords I say in this video. And number 3, there's money everywhere. All right, here you go. For rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and internet and utilities, you're going to reach out to the following 6 places. Your city hall, your city house authority, your county hall, your county house authority, your state hall, and your state house authority. And the key words you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. Here are the 6 places again. City hall, city house authority, county hall, county house authority, state hall, state house authority. Now, reason why I led with that $13 billion of cash infusion is that every single state and every single city in the country will have another cash infusion either already today or early next week. So do me a personal favor. If you see anyone in the live chat anytime over the weekend or next week says, my place has no money, tell them, no, LA has informed you that there's another $13 billion coming from Treasury. This is what you need to do. You need to pick up that phone and call that same place again and say, hey, have you gotten the $13 billion? We have it. When is it coming? It's coming. Department of Treasury is sending it out. Can I be first in line on the waiting list? Get in line because when the money lands, it gets eaten up quickly. Kevin Lee, one of the longtime viewers of this channel, got money from Dallas, Texas. In the middle of the pandemic, in almost April of 2020, he pounced and the money was gone in 3 days. So pounce and get this big sum of money. All right, next, I want you to reach out to all utility companies because all of them pay. If you got 4 or 5 utility companies, reach out to each of them. Then finally, the nonprofits. I have no idea where this happened from, but the nonprofits have become the big success story overnight on this channel. Nonprofits paid viewers a fortune in 2020 on this channel for rent, utilities, food, internet, mortgage assistance. And then in early 2021, it was the topic of a show called Purple on this channel. I thought I had more reruns of Purple to give you, but I don't. I'm going to have to look for old archives because I don't have any more 11:30 shows of Purple for you, which I wanted to give you. So what I want to go over with you right now is what you need to know before I find those videos. These are the nonprofits I want you to reach out to. First, I'm going to show you who they are, and then I want to go over the monies you can get. You're going to reach out to United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, and St. Vincent de Paul. Again, that's United Way, Community Action, Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul, and Salvation Army. 5 of them. They cover often rent, utilities, food, and then they're just doing unusual other things. I've had viewers in the last 24 hours tell me they got a brand new furnace, they got a brand new refrigerator. One person said they repaired her window that needed repair. Another person said they provided her food and certain items. So they are doing incredible God service. Then finally, remember that if you want holiday gifts, because of the holidays coming around, reach out to Salvation Army now because they start doing late September, early October. They don't do in December. They do it way in ahead of time. All right. Really helpful. And I'll try to find some more Purple coverage for you as well because these nonprofits are God's given saints. They're just absolutely wonderful organizations. All right. Let's turn back to the exciting details of that third cluster. That third cluster of checks are incredible, but some of them are automatic. How are they automatic? Let's look at the prescription medication. Absolutely overnight. How would this work? You would basically be saving money in your wallet in a blink of an eye. Let's say you went to fill a prescription on a Monday and paid $30. This becomes law on a Tuesday. Then the next time you go to refill the prescription, it's substantially less. Let's say it's $10. You have $20 more in your wallet. Also, the free internet. That is literally as instant as could be. It would be giving fortunes to the local cities and counties so that they can run their own internet company and provide you free internet. All you have to do is say, hi, I'm a resident, prove your residency or that you live in the town, and then they'll give you the internet username and password for the Wi-Fi connection, and you're ready to rock and roll. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video with the big details about the Democrats who want to give you that stimmy check. And here we go. Boy, it is absolutely incredible. Casey, Warren, Sanders, Wyden, and Schumer are among the Democrats, senators who have told viewers of this channel they are going to be giving you a stimulus check in the fourth stimulus package because of what you did, advocacy. This channel is all about advocacy, and advocacy started 8 weeks ago. I forgot Coons. It started 8 weeks ago with WR and Senator Chris Coons. 8 weeks ago, broadcast media, print media, I haven't heard about stimulus check. I haven't heard about it. I don't see it being talked about. I said, I don't care. Pick up the phone and advocate. Tell them we need it. And that's what WR, a longtime viewer of this channel, did. Picked up the phone and called Senator Chris Coons, Democrat, Delaware, Joe Biden's old confidant, and said, my name is WR, and I need a stimulus check. I need to tell you why. This is why I need it. My family needs it. My community needs it. My church needs it. This is why we need it. The staffer said, yes. Senator Chris Coons agrees, and he's actually drafting up multiple stimulus check legislation for the forced stimulus recon. There you go. World exclusive. That was nearly 8 weeks ago. I said, keep on pushing. But a lot of people weren't picking up the phone. It changed about 3 weeks ago when we got the encouragement because of Brother Joshua. When it happened. When we're looking at the first 645 pages of the reconciliation bill, who wrote that? The House side, the House Budget Committee. Well, there's a Senate Budget Committee as well. And who's the Senate Budget Chairman that goes over the recon? Bernie Sanders. He's the Budget Chairman. Bernie Sanders was quoted in an article 3 weeks ago where he said, unlike prior budget chairmen in D.C., I like to get out amongst the people. I said, you know what he's saying there. Listen carefully. He's saying he wants to hear from you. He's saying he wants you to advocate for what you want in that recon. I said, pick up the phone and call and advocate for a stimulus check. Margaret did it, Lynn Glenn did it, and Brother Joshua did as well. Brother Joshua, 2020 volunteer the community page, helped countless viewers get a big money for rent and utilities. Thank you for your service, Brother Joshua. And he's also Purple Hawk. He advocated for it. Advocacy looks like this. I need a stimulus check because of what's going on with my family or me or my town. My community is ravaged because of the pandemic. Businesses are closed, or my neighborhood or my business or my church. This is what's going on, or business or home. People are losing their homes. You advocate for it. This, on the other hand, I'm going to show you right now, is not advocacy. Treating a senator like UPS tracking, or treating them like the FedEx tracking store. When, where, how, who, he, ha. That's not how you treat people. You advocate for things. They want to hear your situation because they were elected as officials to react to your story. They resonate to the emotion of your story. And Brother Joshua brought it. And he picked up the phone and called Senator Bernie Sanders' office and spoke to his secretary kindly, professionally, and respectfully, and advocated for a stimulus check. And was told, yes, Senator Bernie Sanders wants to give you a stimulus check. Monthly, $1,000 to $1,400 a month, 3 to 6 months. And there you go. But there was a catch. The secretary in the conversation told Brother Joshua that he needs to hear from you that you want it. He needs to hear from the American people, from Purple Power, that you want that stimulus check, so he advocates for it as well. I said this was a call to action to pick up the phone and call and advocate for it. And since then, you have been doing an incredible, great job. Let's go over what happened there and where we are tonight with new world exclusives tonight, as you followed my advice and gone to other senators as well. Let's first start with Bernie's office, Senator Bernie Sanders, and it started with Donnie. I called Bernie Sanders and spoke to his secretary and they said they're doing a forced stimulus check. I said, I need it. This is why I need it. This is Donnie advocating really well. I need it. I said I need it. Why I need it. My city needs it. I need it to progress. I need it for my water and everything. I told her that. And she said, okay, they're doing a forced stimulus check. Incredible advocacy, Donnie. Great job. Then we came to the advocacy for other people like Hurricane Tina, who picked up the phone and advocated with Bernie Sanders' office and said, I got through, and they said they are putting in a forced stimulus check. It continued with incredible advocacy yesterday on Morning's Countdown. As Carolyn Smith wrote this in the live chat, I've called Bernie Sanders' office and I talked to his secretary. Here comes Carolyn's advocacy. And I told her we needed it. We need help out. Here people are losing their homes, and that's what they got. And they're losing what they got. Great advocacy, Caroline. And she said she agrees, and Bernie's putting in a stimulus check. Here came more advocacy from Lori Silver yesterday on Afternoons LA. I called Bernie Sanders' office yesterday, and I put in a big Purple Power vote for the people getting help. And according to them, they're working on getting us help. And then came today. Today, in the first world exclusive again on this channel, I'm going to show you how your efforts to call the other senators are paying off. In the last 24, 48 hours, I said, okay, if you've called Senator Sanders' office, now call Wyden, Coons, Warren, and Schumer and advocate for a stimulus check. I'm going to add Casey to the list as well. I said to advocate by calling the other senators as well. If you've called one, call the other senators. And now viewers are doing it. And let's look at the incredible update from this wonderful comment by Will. I'll read you what it says because I know the graphics are a little hard to read. Will writes, I spent the day yesterday calling around. I called Bernie. I called Warren. I called Schumer's office. And all three secretaries confirmed a stimulus check. I explained my situation. Okay, here comes Will advocating. Great job. I explained my situation and how a forced stimulus check would make a huge impact. And I was told, yes, it's happening. Elizabeth Warren. Here comes the big world exclusive on Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren's office asked me what kind of check do I think would be sufficient. And I explained I like the American petition. And they said they're on board with that. They said Senator Warren is considering $1,400 to $2,000, 6 to 12 months. You're hearing this for the very first time tonight on Evenings LALATE. And then another viewer, Lorica, picked up the phone and called Casey's office. Okay, I just got off the phone with Senator Casey's office, Lorica updates. Finally, he's on the committee for aging. He's pushing for a lot of money for the elderly and disabled. And the girl I talked to said, yes, the senators are in negotiations now on the amount of the stimulus checks. Boy, Purple Power, this is when you want to pounce. Because guess what? I'm going to go over right now with you the importance of the senators in the equation. Who writes this legislation? Over the last 3 months, I told you that the Senate committees in the House are likely to write the legislation after the Senate and House Democrats agree upon something. I was right. House and Senate Democrats meet behind closed doors, say, what do you think about this? I'll go write it. And who wrote the first 645 pages? The House subcommittees. Then, who votes first? I've been reporting this over the last 2 months, and I'm sticking with my reporting. I'm reporting exclusively that I believe that the House Democrats will vote first, then the Senate Democrats. This is huge because the House Democrats are likely to approve whatever the House writes up in the subcommittees of what remains of the bill. Then it goes over to the senators, and the senators have the last say. The senators have a 2-day vote-a-rama where they make changes to whatever is given to them from the House. And because it's Democrats are Democrats, they're not going to remove something another Democrat wrote, but they'll certainly raise it up or add something else in. And that is why you have to push. Warren, Sanders, Schumer, Casey, Coons, Wyden. These are people, with the exception of Wyden, who have told the viewership of this channel they want to give you a stimulus check. And if you've called one, then call the rest. It was WR who had a wonderful comment on one of the videos yesterday. He said, who saw someone saying, I'm praying for a stimulus check. He said, prayer is good. We all love God, but you need to pick up the phone. You need to pick up the phone because you need to advocate. You need to advocate. And advocacy starts by telling your story. These legislators need to hear your story. Purple Power, LALATE, Purple Power, LALATE. This is why I need a stimulus check. This is what's going on. They need to understand what's going on because they're not in other parts of this country. Elizabeth Warren representing Boston, Massachusetts, representing Americans across the country. She doesn't know exactly what's happening in the Southeast or the Northwest. She doesn't particularly know it unless you call and say, this is what's happening. They need to hear from you. All right, with that, let's cut back to all the details because I know there's a lot in this video, and let me briefly go over fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus got a very interesting wrinkle from Yaya, and I've seen a lot of comments in the videos in the last 48 hours. I give you everything that I know. So there's nothing else I don't know that I'm hiding behind closed doors. There are people saying, is there a check to repair your gas line in the house? No, but if there was, I would say it on camera. I've been saying in some of the comments, there's no other checks in the back storage room next to the shoes. There's no other checks that I know of that I'm not saying on camera. A lot of people are still talking about this message from Yaya. She said that I called Wyden's office and he wants to put the SS200 in there. I know that got a lot of people very excited. I don't know anything else about it. What I recommend is you pick up the phone and call Wyden. call Wyden, and then update me. Jump in the live chat. Send me a personal message on DM or Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. Let's go over fifth stimulus. It will first raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, rural benefits. Where is fifth stimulus? It starts in September, out in about November for law. Then would likely impact your benefits thereafter. First, they'll raise your benefits up. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark's inflation. And what's the breaking news going into the weekend? That the supply chains across this country are going from bad to worse. There are ports in LA that they can't get the stuff off the truck, off the tankers, off the boats. There are big supply chain issues in every port of this country and every trucking industry of this country. That signals big concerns about inflation. And that means your benefits would go up a lot. First, they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they're going to apply a new benchmark inflation. If inflation is going higher, you're going higher. I'm predicting about 5% inflation in December. So if that I'm correct, that means you go up another 5%, not just next year, but a lifetime. Wow. Then they're going to remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. Finally, if you've not become a Purple Hawk, you need to become a Purple Hawk. Purple Hawks is delivered daily from me to you, a breakdown of all the big money under first, second, and third stimulus. Because look, I literally have all this. Can you see how much it is? I literally have all that I was going to go over with Purple Hawks success stories. It's just the success stories keep on coming in. Keep on sending me them. I'll cover them this weekend. Purple Hawks are getting fortunes from first, second, and third stimulus, and Purple Hawks, I'm adding something new to tonight's guidance, in tonight's newsletter, which is the nonprofits. Purple Hawks are delivered daily from me to them, a breakdown of all the big money on the first, second, and third stimulus. But now I'm going to include the nonprofits in there because they're paying as well. The coverage of Purple. Third stimulus is still paying. And with an additional $13 billion going out from the federal government, which I'm going to include that in the newsletter, you have access to incredible sums of money. If you have not gotten every single penny to as far as you can go into next year, you need to go get more. If you got rent for just a few months and the rent is running out, go get that money as well. Finally, we did not cover SNAP. I forgot to cover SNAP, and which is important for you to get. First, the SNAP is being raised up automatically starting in November and October, an average of 25%, lifetime automatically. So you may be getting a letter that says your SNAP raise currently is expiring. That's the one from the executive orders. The new one, which is lifetime, starts in October. A lot of details. I know there's a lot of this video. Tried to get it all in there, but of course I'm excited for all this breaking news. Stay with me this weekend because we're going to have a lot of fun. We have a lot of news to cover. You see in 42 minutes, I'm trying to jam-pack it in there. But join me next at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11:30 for shows on the hour. A lot of very informative shows on showing you how to track a stimulus check, how to understand when a check comes out, when the federal government does it, to understand if you're having problems with a direct deposit, how to fix that before a stimulus check. Very informative shows, and it's just been a great week. Can't wait for you this weekend, so join me all weekend long and subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful evening, and stay with LA for more.